Doc, it's been a little while since we've had an opportunity to talk to you about the rearrangement or the realignment in the front office. I'd like to get your thoughts on that, and also the controversy that's going on in pro sports right now between, let's say, the White House and the Golden State Warriors and all the friction that we're starting to see.
That's a big lot of questions to start off with. The reorganization is really what's been going on for 2 years. I mean, I brought Lawrence in a year ago to do what he's doing, and no one noticed, but that's what Lawrence has been doing. So that part of it for me is not a big change. Lawrence and I are partners. We were partners last year. We're partners this year, and for me, it's not that big of a change. Except for I want Lawrence to do all the work, and I want to do all the coaching. I mean, really, that's why I did it to begin with, and so that's what we're doing. On the other thing, there's a lot to be said about it. Obviously, we all support our players. I think we all know that, and I guess if I had a take on it, which I try not to at times, and then I try to when I think it's the right time, I would say this, that I don't think players want to protest. I think, the reason they're protesting is because they think there's injustice and there's prejudice and there's bigotry and there's a lot of things that we want our country to be great. Like, I don't think anyone is upset at making America great. I think we're all upset at the word again. When I hear the word again, I'm thinking backwards, going back. That's what that word means, and I don't think anyone wants that. So I guess, in short, if Donald Trump did his job, players would not be kneeling, at the end of the day. Because I don't think anyone wants this country to do poorly. We all are cheering for this country to do well, and so do your job, and players will stop kneeling.
Brad Turner from the LA Times. This is for Doc and Lawrence. Your owner tweeted something yesterday about this very same subject. What did you guys think about him taking an active role in something like this?
I didn't know he tweeted, because you know me, I don't see any of that stuff. But I think we all should. Like, I don't think it's just up to athletes. And I don't think this is a black issue either, or a women's issue, or this is a human rights issue, And so I don't think it's I think everyone needs to get involved. It shouldn't just be one group. It shouldn't be just the players. It shouldn't be just the owners. It should be everyone. If anyone doesn't think that the place they live, they think it could be better, then they should get involved. And there's a lot of ways to get involved. Voting may be the #1 way to get involved. I think that's what we should all do, really.
I think they do this all the time. Here we go. You don't have to hear me. It's even better. No, but to echo Doc's thoughts, is we're all active participants, and I think there's a reason why we have freedom of speech. There's a reason why this is a great country. So it's an opportunity to express how you feel.
Doc, LT Willis, TG Sports. I know over the years you always used to have a certain roster coming in, but this season, a brand new roster, new team. What do you think would be the biggest challenge for your coaching staff with this team this year?
Probably continuity. We have, 9 players. That's a lot of change. And so just the continuity, I think this camp will be a little different in that. I think we have to play a lot, and, a lot of camps you can really get into your execution and drill work, and it all falls into place. I think this group, we just have to play a lot to catch up. There's teams that have been together and have played tons of games together. We've played 0 games together. So I think that'll be the biggest thing. And then, everyone kind of figuring out their roles and then accepting their roles. Anybody can figure it out. Accepting it is another thing. And so that would be the 2 challenges.
Eric Pink, whoa, that's hot mic. Eric Pincus, Basketball Insider's Bleacher Report. How does Danilo Gallinari, that's one of your biggest acquisitions, how does he fit in with this roster? Is he a small forward in your mind? In this modern NBA, is he more of a power forward? And how does that work with DeAndre and
Well, if
Blake?
we're talking about modern NBA, there's no such thing as a small forward and power forward anymore. It's just a basketball player, and that's that's why I liked him. I wanted big, versatile players. I don't think I've ever told Lawrence I wanted a 5 or a 4. You know, there are times when you can give a number. Like DJ, you look at DJ and what he does, he's clearly a 5. Other than that, on our team, I don't think you can name one guy that say that's the only position he can play. And that's how we're going to use Gallo. Gallo's going to play the 4. He's going to play the 3. He's going to play, you know, any position that we put him in. And the same thing with all our guys.
Why did you bring him in? What was the skill set that?
His ability to score, his ability to get fouled. And he's a very difficult guy to switch on. Like he punishes, switches, he stretches the floor. So he has a lot of skills. And, you know, knowing that you were going to lose a Chris, you wanted as many ball-handling players on the floor at the same time. And he has a great ball skills, great passing, and we wanted that as well.
Nick Hamilton, Rebel Media. This question is for you, Doc, over here.
Where are you?
Right here.
Yeah.
You've been in the NBA for quite a while as a player, obviously, and as a coach. Do you feel like the NBA now has usurped the NFL as it pertains to popularity, as it pertains to more eyeballs being focused on the NBA, almost like a year-round sport?
Oh, I don't know that answer. I think our sport is as popular as it's ever been. I think that's all good for us. You know, I'm sure there's issues that come with that as well. But overall, we have a popular sport that a lot of people want to watch, and I think we should be very happy about it.
Mark Heisler, Southern California News Group. Hey, Doc. With all the changes with Chris gone, does that mandate any kind of a change in style, or do you intend to play the same way?
Oh, no, I think it mandates a change in style. Probably the style that I'm probably more familiar with to begin with. You know, I've always been a ball movement coach. I think we can get back into that, you know, and I do want to play at a higher pace. But, again, you think that, and then you go into camp and you look at your team and you watch how they play, and you'll find the right pace that they should play at. You know, I think we should be an up-tempo team. I think we should be an early strike team. I think we should be a very physical team. But, again, I think you have to look at your team and see what you really have when you get to camp.
John Gonzalez, The Ringer. Doc, when you talk about everybody figuring out their roles and the system that you want to play, what do you envision for Blake moving forward then?
Blake will play, you know, a lot of positions. You know, again, we don't really get into position, but there'll be times in the game where Blake will be the tallest guy on the floor. There'll be times where, you know, he'll be more 3-4. We want him to be an aggressive player, an attack player. He'll bring the ball up at times. He'll be one of the guys that we use as a facilitator, and that's how we'll use him.
You've had health issues with Gallo, Milos, and Blake. You know, and how are they doing? Will they be able to participate in Olive Camp? And what about Austin's situation?
Yeah, Gallo's good as long as no one pisses him off. You know, he'll be fine, but he's healthy right now. Milos and Blake and Austin are probably in the same category. We just have to watch all three of them, you know. Not the exact way you want to go into camp, because those three guys, you know, are really important to how we play. But we got to make sure we get through this 5-6 week period before first game and keeping them healthy. You know, Blake hasn't played much. He just started playing. Milos started playing a couple of weeks ago. Austin probably hasn't played in, you know, 4 or 5 weeks. And so, but I think all of them will be cleared to play tomorrow. So that's a good thing. So we can start out with all of them on the floor. I think the key for all of them, we just have to monitor them and do the right thing to get them ready for the first game.
Yeah. What do you think about new schedule with this back-to-back and this 4 games in 5 days? Do you think that team will not rest player as much as last season because of this new schedule?
Well, I can't tell you about each schedule with every other team. I can tell you, looking at our schedule this year, it's way better than last year. Now, some teams enjoyed the changes from last year. we didn't get the benefit. I think we started out the season playing 18 games in 30 days, and I don't think we ever recovered from that. We won't have a stretch like that at all this year. I think one of the things the players found that they thought they would like last year that they didn't like last year is they didn't like playing every other day. You know, they thought that, you know, the rest would be great, but what they found was it was hard to get their rhythm in playing that way. I think this year there's a lot of two-day breaks, then going back, you know, and so I just think me looking at our schedule, I looked at the calendar, and that's what you do as a coach, and I think I counted almost 16 extra practice days. That's a huge difference from last year. That doesn't mean you're going to use them all, but that means we could have them all if we want to, and I think that's great for us.
Time for 2 more questions.
Hey, Lawrence, can you speak about the additions to the management staff, Michael Winger, what attracted you to him, and what that means going forward to have sort of a full executive suite?
Yeah, we felt really good with the guys we have in the organization. So we've promoted 9 guys in basketball operations, but we also felt that we had an opportunity to really strengthen our front office. So with Michael Winger, Trent Redden, Mark Hughes, Matt Elijah, we really feel, in addition to Dave Wool, Judd Winton, Greg Pime, and we promoted Dee Brown as GM as Agualante, we really have an A-level leadership team. And I think, you know, the vision Doc, Steve have is really building out something that's world-class. And we wanted to get people aligned from a core value standpoint, but with diverse skill sets. We wanted to avoid duplication, and I think we really nailed it. We added some high-quality individuals, and we were able to promote some other people who've been high achievers as well.
Right here, Rico Cabreri, Philly Sports Scene. Good morning, Doc. Good morning, Mr. Frank. Quick question, a couple quick questions, Doc and Mr. Frank. Impact on the new rules for 2017-18 that's come down from the NBA headquarters. If there's anything that we should be looking for as fans and as reporters. And also the impact of Noche Latina here in Los Angeles. I know it's down the road, but the impact that is in the growing Hispanic and Latino market to come out and watch more NBA and WNBA as well. Thank you.
Well, I think the second is the easy one. Of course, the more the better, right? And I think it's good. We're trying to grow our sport with everyone, and so that's the easy one. The second one with the new rules or the suggested rules or we'll see rules is what I always call them. I think is always good. I think we're trying to improve our game. We're trying to figure out a lot of the rules are safeguard rules, you know, trying to make the game quicker, try to make the game safer, and try to make the game better. I think if you look at our rules this year, that's what we're trying to do. You know, you think you've accomplished them every time you walk out of a room and, you know, you've done it. And then there's always, because of that rule, there's always something else that it's created. So I always take a wait-and-see attitude on them, but I do like the changes.
And if you don't like him, you can blame Doc. He's on the competition committee. So.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Have a good day.